How often would you do that on a daily basis?
Depends on the pressures going on. If I'd been on what I call an away day, where I'd been up part of the country all day, I'd come home feeling pretty empty because my engagements at that time would be to do with people dying, people very sick, people, marriage is the problem, all that. And I come home and it would be very difficult to know how to comfort myself, having been comforted lots of other people. So it would be a regular pattern to jump into the fridge.
How do you understand it to begin with? How do you know that that's a part of your destiny?
Well, we don't, put it this way, we don't all sit in a room with a queen and a blackboard going. It kind of, I don't know, I think it's, I wouldn't say it's in our blood, but at the same time I think it's over history and watching our parents, watching our grandparents, and just learning our way through that process. I mean, Christ, I think I went to my first proper royal engagement at the age of 4 or 5. So you make mistakes, like we all have, and then slowly you find your way and you start to realize that you've got an incredible platform to make really positive change.
Did you always embrace this role and responsibility?
No, I don't think I understood it. I think what happened to my mum probably put me a step back, thinking, well, how could someone who did so much for the world and did so much for everybody else could be treated like that by a certain institution? So it takes a bit of getting used to, but as I said, you know, it's once you understand the privileged position that you're in, you've then got to spend the rest of your life earning that privilege and giving back and also gaining the trust and respect of the general public and then using that position for good. We're always there trying to deal with some of the issues, but also doing everything we can to bring people together to make change, to make positive change. And it's an absolute joy and a privilege to meet the younger generation of change makers across the world who genuinely believe in the fact that they, as a single person and as a group and as a community and as a nation, not only can change their country, but can change the world as well. And that is what keeps me going on a day-to-day basis. It is nice to know that kids that young have an appreciation and understanding greater than some of the people who have been on this planet for 60, 70 years. I've been a pessimist many times because of the work that we end up doing. You can be surrounded by negativity sometimes. But as I said just now, the younger generation of the world has turned me into an optimist because they are the best connected, the most passionate generation that I think that we've ever had. And what we need to do is be able to create a platform so that they can be heard, because they have the solutions to some of the world's biggest problems. I know the fact that she'll be really unbelievably good at the job part of it as well is obviously a huge relief to me, because she'll be able to deal with everything else that comes with it. But no, you know, we're a fantastic team. We know we are, and we hope to, you know, over time, try and have as much impact for all the things that we care about as much as possible.
I am very excited about that, yeah.
And Megan, given your acting and the profile you had, you'd already been involved with various causes. You've been an ambassador for UN Women. What about this new role? I mean, you're going to have a bigger platform, a bigger voice. What do you want to do with it?
I think what's been really exciting as we talk about the transition of this out of my career but into the role is that, as you said, the causes that have been very important to me I can focus even more energy on, because very early out of the gate I think you realize once you have access or a voice that people are willing to listen to, with that comes a lot of responsibility, which I take seriously. And at the same time, I think in these beginning few months and now being boots on the ground in the UK, I'm excited to just really get to know more about the different communities here, smaller organizations who are working on the same causes that I've always been passionate about under this umbrella. And also being able to go around to the Commonwealth. I think it's just the beginning of a...
There's a lot to do.
Really?
There's a lot to do.
And it's an immense change. You're getting a new country out of it, a husband obviously, but also giving up your
nice,
career.
This is nice.
Good evening, everyone. We are so grateful to the Netherlands for welcoming us and for hosting the Invictus Games. For each team, my husband and I both recognize it's been a lot to get here, both physically and emotionally, not least of which for the Ukraine team, whom we are all standing with. Oksana team, we talked about it yesterday. Slava Ukraini. One thing I know for sure is that every single moment it has taken to get here will be worth it. Because it is here at the Invictus Games that we honor your years of active duty on the field and your continued service to your country, to your family, and your community off the field. Thank you so much for your service, and thank you to all the family and the friends that are here who have been supporting you along the way. Because this is service, this is dedication, and this is the Invictus family. Now, it is my distinguished honor to introduce someone that I think you'll all be very excited to hear from. He has also spent many late nights and early mornings planning for these games to make them as perfect as possible for each of you. I could not love and respect him more, and I know that all of you feel the same, because he is your fellow veteran, having served 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan and 10 years of military service. He's the founder of the Invictus Games and the father to our 2 little ones, Archie and Lily. Please welcome my incredible husband, Prince Harry of the United States.
This is the future.
New spin on it from the youth. As a prince, you're born at birth with a natural platform to be able to try and make a difference. Yeah, which a lot of people have to spend years and years and years getting to that point. So from that perspective, I'm very lucky to have a platform to be able to try and make change in the causes that mean a lot to me, but also to you guys. And I'm still in your generation, by the way. But at the same time, as I said, being born with a lot of privilege comes with a lot of responsibility. But I like to think that I'm going to have to spend the rest of my life earning the respect for that privilege and trying to make a difference for the rest of my life.
Evolution. This is the future.
This is Felix for World Central Kitchen reporting from Soufrière Primary School in the Caribbean island of Dominica. The school you can see behind me was devastated by Hurricane Maria back in 2017, and in fact it took a whole 2 years before pupils were allowed back on site. I'm now here with my colleague Jason to announce the completion of the first of our community relief kitchens. The kitchen will be used primarily to feed the needs of the 67 pupils here at the school, but we'll also be offering culinary training to the wider community when the school's not in session. We've been able to design the kitchen in such a way that it's resilient to future disasters and will be activated as a service kitchen to meet those needs if it arises. We really like to extend our thanks firstly to ResDM, the local partner on the ground here, and also to Meghan and Harry's Archwell Foundation, whose support have helped the project become possible.
This is the future.
White?
You tell you what, you sound just like my son Archie.
Really?
The same little squeaky voice. I love it.
Evolution.
Because to be role models, or the role models that each of you are, takes strength and it takes courage. When I talk to my son Archie about what he wants to be when he grows up, some days it's an astronaut, other days it's a pilot, a helicopter pilot, obviously. Or Quasi from Octonauts. If you're laughing, then you've seen it. But what I remind him is that no matter what you want to be when you grow up, it's your character that matters most. And nothing would make his mum and me prouder than to see him have the character of what we see before us today. You.
This is the future. Human error. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.